Good morning. It is Monday, September 11th. How's that for a significant day? Um, so it's weird. I haven't seen a whole lot of buzz on the YouTubes in the news about 9/11. Usually there's all these TV shows and everything. So it's kind of interesting. But, anyways, uh, hope you're having a I hope you had a good weekend. My weekend was definitely full of events that probably shouldn't have happened, but we just deal with it. Um, but we won't get into that. We um, got to. So one of the positive things that happened over the weekend was the carnivore trucker and I. We hung out last night in his live stream, and we talked health. We talked music. Um, it was pretty cool. I showed off my new CDs and my new album that I bought. Was at a concert Saturday night. That was fun. That felt like the old me. Felt like the old days for me, which seems to be more important than I originally thought. So I know that does nothing to do with trucking, but we can't always be all about trucking, right? The music bug is definitely biting me more, so there might be some music coming at you. So pay attention to my small channel, Snorelord OG, for updates on that. The truck is still for sale. Oops. And the buyer that I had, if you aren't caught up, the buyer that I had bailed on me at the last minute because they found something else because the truck wasn't ready. Well, the truck is ready now. It's like that close to being cleaned. I had somebody that was cleaning it, and something happened outside of the truck that now they can't finish cleaning it, so I got to finish it up. And it's actually not too bad. My youngest got in there and did the cup holders and all the nooks and crannies, and now it just need the floor and some dusting on the dash, and it's ready to go. I did do a video from inside the truck. I don't think I've put that out yet. No, I have. I know I haven't put that out yet. So, and then there's probably one more video I'm going to record from inside the truck that's talking about being an owner operator and the accomplishments and all that stuff. So, I hope all is well with everybody. We're doing good. We've been busy. We had a pretty decent week last week dispatching, and this week is promising to be pretty good as well. A lane that I've been working on for our drivers, along with one of my drivers. Sorry, I've got allergies that I'm dealing with. They we're starting to get some consistency from both the broker and the drivers, so it's working out pretty good. So pretty happy about that, and it's going to help people. Hold on a second. And there's a hum, and I don't know where it's coming from, but anyways, oh, what else do I want to talk about before we get into the low board stuff? The title, Insanity. I'm going to explain that, but as usual, we're going to do our shout outs, and then we'll go over some low board stuff. And then I want to talk about something because people keep telling me I need to lease out this truck, and I'll tell you why I'm not. And it might, well, I'll just say, let me tell you why I don't. And I'll get into that. So if you want to hang out for a minute, I'll get into that, why I don't lease out this truck. So anyways, let's do some shout outs, and then we'll get to it. CB, what's up? Todd Blackburn. I almost said Blackborn. That would have been wrong. I would apologize, but I didn't. I said Blackburn. So good morning. Go truck yourself. What's up? Pigtail, good morning. Hope you're well. I haven't talked to you in a minute. Don Shonger, hello. Pigtail, when we do talk, I have some interesting things to tell you. Fate Trucking, good morning. Carnivore Trucker, make sure you guys check out Carnivore's channel. My beard is now officially longer than his. And we just chatted last night, and he also did a good video about suicide prevention. And so check that out. Check out his channel. He's got good intentions with his channel. And we need to be supportive of people that have good intentions with their channel. So well, I'm actually Jackknife TV. Wow, I'm actually on a normal person's schedule today to watch this. LOL. I don't know if I'd call you normal though. My man, top of the morning. You were right again. Got some bangers today. 2021 rates over here. Nice, good deal. And what Don is referring to is we were debating whether we wanted to book Monday's load on Friday afternoon. It was late Friday afternoon. And I said, nope, you're not going to have any leverage. You're going to have some leverage first thing Monday morning. The Friday 3 o'clock shuffle is now the Monday 8 a.m. shuffle, or 7 a.m. or 6 a.m., depending on what platform you're looking at. And so that's what he's referring to. So good deal, man. I'm glad that my premonition was correct. Wheelburner, what's up? Now, Wheelburner, I'm going to... Wheelburner's a good man. You know why? Because he is not ashamed to show a picture of himself with a stroller and cats inside the stroller walking. And I thought that picture was priceless. And so kudos to you, my friend, that you're willing to put that out there on the interwebs. So Savannah, Sean Fairman, Savannah to Harrisonville, that time of year. I don't think I ever did that run. But yeah, but there is an uptick in you're going to start seeing a lot of. So this is the time of year where Walmart, Dollar Tree, Dollar General distribution centers are shipping pretty heavy right now. And so the deliveries that most of us drive-in guys and maybe even some reefer guys are going to be doing is based around there. So what you want to look for is, like, for example, I live near 2 charcoal plants. So during the spring or early spring or late winter, all of a sudden a broker has all the Dollar General stuff coming out of Branson or West Plains, going to all the DC, a lot of the Dollar Generals like Indianola or Ardmore or Fulton. And so you see a lot of these loads going to these areas. So this time of year, you have a lot of Christmas freight that's moving right now. And they're also going to all these retailer DCs. And so Harrisonville is a DC. I don't know if that's the load Sean's talking about, but Harrisonville, Missouri has the Walmart DC there. So a lot of times, if you're familiar with these DCs and you know what, if you can park at them, for the truck stops around them, you can really maximize your profits by knowing your market, by knowing these customers, and know that Walmart, Dollar General, and Dollar Tree and Target are shipping hot and heavy right now. So, there's your uptick that you're looking for. Good morning, CDN. Wishing the chat and you a fantastic week. Thank you. I appreciate that. Good morning, all, says with both feet. Good morning. Jose says good morning. Well, Snorelord, you not it, we stand, the bottom we fall. I would say we're pretty divided. I have no idea what you're saying. United. Okay, so let me reread this. Snorelord, united we stand, the bottom we fall, and we say we're pretty divided. I still don't know what you're talking about. G-Star, good morning, Mr. Snorelord and everyone. Greetings from Alabaster, Alabama, getting empty, then heading back to Ohio. That's a good spot to be in. Ian MacArthur, good morning. Nice to see you. Buck Brown, morning, guys. It worked out that I was able to find a home for my Pete yesterday. Long story. Some folks here know the details, but it was for the best. It probably was for the best. And, prayers to you, my friend. I hope you can get some healing going on and figure out what's next in the next chapter. So Speaking of trucks, so thank you for that segue, Buck Brown. Um, People keep having conversations with me about how I should lease out my truck. I can get 40, 45, 50 grand for it if I do that. Jeff has tried to entice me into it, but I refuse to do it. Number one, I don't have the running capital to keep the truck running without me making the revenue. So if with it having a lot of the original parts on it, the potential for expensive breakdowns is there. It's there with any truck. I know people with brand new trucks that are having that. So it's not the age of the truck; it's the fact that you're going to have some running capital to run a truck. And from my experience, there is a majority of lease operators that fail, that don't make it, because they didn't have the running capital or they didn't have the credit to keep up with the business. Okay. If you have a new truck, you have a high payment and you have a warranty. And now that warranty can be used as a tool. Shannon has talked about that on her videos. And it's a great tool to have. And so what it should allow you to is, while that truck is under warranty, you should be able to build up capital for those big repairs once the warranty is out. The trick is getting a long warranty that covers almost everything. The other side of that, though, is you need to think about downtime. Do you have enough money after the truck payment's done to be able to put back for the downtime? Because that truck payment is still due regardless. Now, leasing is a tool. It could be a very valuable tool. For example, if, like, I have a friend that has a Snyder Finance truck. Truck goes down. He was able to talk to Snyder Finance about, let's just put these payments on the end of this deal. In other words, they were able to pause his payments so he could not give up the truck. So he didn't have to give up the truck. And so that's where leasing. A lot of people are like, why would you be a lease operator? Well, that's a great perk. It's an umbrella that protects you. Pale Rider, we talked about, like, Pale Rider's had repairs on his truck that he didn't have money for, and so the leasing company would basically give him the loan for that repair. And so it was kind of a safety net. It was an umbrella versus trying to have 20 grand in the bank and hope that your repairs didn't exceed that. The leasing opportunity, the leasing platform allowed him that sense of security. And to me, that seems to be a good way to do business, as far as, like, having a safety net. I am not a safety net. I am not a bank. And what I'm finding is the people that have tried to charge 40, 50, 60 grand for a truck that's out of warranty, to people that don't have great credit or any money in the bank, is a recipe for failure. And the last thing I want to do morally is to put someone in that position. If you want my truck and you don't have the cash, get a loan. And make sure you have some money in the bank. And if you don't have credit to get a $35,000 loan, then you probably don't need to be an owner-operator. And that's the harsh truth. I don't know what else to say. If that offends you, if you want to attack me for that, then go ahead. But see, statistics talk. I should have brought it up. I was not prepared, but I should have brought it up. OOIDA put out a report of what percentage of lease operators fail within the first 2 years, and it's like something like 60%. And because of how their foundations have faltered. And I've talked to so many people in the last year, especially when fuel prices jumped up, that they're either paying their truck or they're paying themselves. They're not doing both. And pay attention to the owner operators that talk on YouTube. Are they paying themselves? Because if you're a guy trying to support a family of 5, and you're put in a situation, you can't afford to not pay yourself. There's a lot of owner operators that don't pay themselves at all. Okay, if you have a family, if you have a brand new pickup truck, if you have a brand new car, if you have a brand new whatever luxury item, you can't afford to not pay yourself. And so why would I put somebody who can't afford to pay themselves in a position to be that way? I can't morally do that. And it's a definition of insanity because I'm seeing it over and over and over. And it's kind of disheartening, to be honest with you. Now, I believe in, it's great that someone can give somebody a second chance and may not have great credit. I know Snyder Finance guys that didn't have great credit and they were able to get in the Snyder Finance truck and do well with it. And I believe that could be a good thing. But I'm not Snyder Finance. I'm not a bank. Okay. And so I cannot finance this truck. I will not finance this truck. And there's a discount if it gets signed on to like trucking. But for the most part, you're going to have to get a loan. Could I make more money leasing it out? Yeah, I might make an extra 20 grand for the next 2 years. But the risk is too great because I'm watching people left and right not make it. I'm watching people not accomplishing their leases. I'm watching people not able to pay off their trucks. I'm watching people neglect the maintenance of the truck because they need money for their mortgage. I'm watching this over and over and over again. And the people that are not trapped in that, they're not interested in this truck. So, I have people ready to give me cash and it's lower than I want, but you have to think about that. Someone's willing to hand me, 30 grand of cash. They're not worried about credit. They're not worried about whether they can make it with that truck. They know what they have. And I imagine there's a lot of people out there that don't have $30,000 cash just to fork over for a truck. And if you can't get a loan for 30,000 or 35,000, then you have to look at that and wonder why. Now, maybe you had a scenario that was out of your control. That's understandable, but that still doesn't improve the situation. It takes cash and credit. There's an argument one over the other to make a business successful. I'm not a bank. I do not finance anything. So that's kind of where we're at. And what I'm seeing, and I'm telling you, it's very disheartening. It's kind of got me down a little bit. While everybody's bitching about brokers and bitching about fuel prices, they've put themselves in situations that it would be hard to accomplish with things going correctly and things going right. The rates that we saw a year and a half ago, I'm not going to say they're never coming back, But if you're waiting for them to come back to rescue your operation, then you're dead man walking. If you look at historically the trucking companies that have survived recessions and survived freight recessions and survived over the years, they have methods on how they survived. And I imagine one of the methods that they did not do was get online and bitch about how brokers are taking too much or how expensive the shops are. I get it. You know, PACCAR is $200 an hour labor right now. There's some Volvo dealerships that are $210 an hour. And when you live in a world where they do nothing but throw parts and charge you $200 just to hook it up to a computer, that adds up pretty quickly. So you better have your act together, because the reality is this: if 60% of lease operators fail within the first 2 years, what are you doing that's different than those 60%? What are you doing better than those 60%? What gives you better odds to succeed than that 60%? No one thinks about that. And if you're doing the same thing everybody else is and you're struggling, well, guess what? You're struggling for a reason. And if you're not learning through the struggle, then you're not going to make it. It's as simple as that. That's the harsh reality. Don't believe me? There's 1,000 stories out there that I'm sure there's a few of you in this chat that are nodding. Wow, Steve, yeah, you're right. That happened to me, or that happened to my buddy. We all know somebody. We all know people that have been through this. You know, and if someone gets angry at my words, if someone gets angry at my words, that's fine. But why are they angry? Either because I'm speaking truth that they don't want to face, or they've managed to figure something out that's better than the 60% out there. You know, you have people that have given the silver platter on everything and they fail, and then you have people that start with $100 in their pocket that are successful authority owners right now. Well, what's the difference there? The mindset, learning, the being coachable. And so maybe someday 21 rates will come back, but we all know what's on the other side of that. So if you see rates get so sky high that it's ridiculously easy to make it, just know what's going to be on the other side of that. And so you always have to prepare for the worst. What if the rates don't come back? And if you're waiting, if your hope is not a great business plan, you know, hope and prayer is not a great business plan. And if you find yourself full of anxiety, if rates don't come back up, if fuel goes to $7 a gallon, then that's where you need to work. That's where you need to figure it out, because you have to go over the worst case scenario. What if they don't come back? What if fuel does go higher than it ever has? What are you going to do about that? What can you do to minimize? What can you do to minimize the cost of the truck? What can you do to minimize the cost of repairs? What can you do to minimize your risk and exposure for bad elements and bad events that might occur? COVID shutdowns happen. Freight drops off a cliff. I survived because of my lessons that I learned back when I was at Landstar. I had several plans in place if need be, but I just weathered out the storm. Why? Because I established things to a degree that I could weather most storms. And you can't do that if you're barely hanging on by a hope and a prayer. And if If this depresses you, if this creates anger within you, then I can't control your emotional reaction. But you have to look at why it causes that. Why do my words anger you? Well, because I don't know what I'm talking about. Well, okay. Statistics prove what I'm talking about. When I bought my first truck, there were a lot of people that said, "Dude, you're gonna fail. You're not gonna make it. You're making a stupid mistake. It's insane." And these are all people that have been through the ringer. A lot of negativity, but the reality is that you're trying to start a business, so you have to act like it. So this is something that you have to keep in mind. And I'm not a bank. I'm not going to lease this truck for no money down, just so I can hopefully get 20 grand by the end of the term, more than what I could sell it outright for. Because I'm not set up like that. And I'm not going to set up anybody like that, because that is a recipe for failure. Unless you have the perfect mindset, the perfect person comes along. I'm not saying I won't do it like 100%, but it's going to take an extra special person to be able to prove to me that they're going to make it. And most of those people can just go to the bank and get their own truck their own way. And that's the reality of the situation. What situation are you? Because I'm watching people make the same mistakes over and over and over. And that's the definition of insanity, is do the same thing over and over and expecting different results. That's insanity. I'm hearing these stories every single day. Every day. You want to be a business owner, you want to make it work, figure it out. Have plans in place just in case it doesn't work out. Be coachable, be willing to learn. And there are plenty of trucking companies that are fully well prepared to take advantage of your lack of knowledge. Because if you have to be completely dependent on them for their lease, then they have the power. Do you honestly have the freedom that you're looking for as a business owner? So, anyways, I'm going to pause here for a second. All right. Okay, so let's go over the comments here. No hum on this side. That's good. Carnivores gives me a thumbs up. Got a skunk under the deck. Any advice? No. Burn it with fire, maybe? I don't know. Wilburner says, I really didn't have a choice with that picture. It's put up without my knowledge. You got to pay attention with the people with cameras around you. Blessed morning to you, Steve, and everyone alive. Thank you. Thank you, Glenn. Boom. Facts. Thank you. How many owner ops go out of business every year because of major breakdowns? A lot. And that's not getting any easier, people. These trucks are getting more and more expensive to deal with. People sometimes think the owner operator route is going to bail them out of their current pile of bad decisions. Doesn't work. The numbers prove it. There you go. That's true. There's weeks if I don't work a whole week, I only make $300 to $800 if I'm lucky. The rest I have to put away for the truck payment and taxes. Good thing previous week check was $5,000. Scorpion says, "Good morning, Steve and everybody. I'm in Albuquerque, New Mexico, getting unloaded at my first of 6 stops. Hope all are well." Scorpion Trucker is one of those guys that has figured it out. He's been on some thin margins, but he gets on top of it. He learns how to do his own repairs. He's one of the hardest working drivers that we have, and he gets it done. And even with some limitations that he's put on himself, so he gets it done. He is the kind of person that has the right mindset. He would be a person I would put in this truck, but he's already got his own truck that he's actually officially paid off. So, would you take 10,000 worth of lottery tickets for the truck? No. Russell Freight Services LLC. Hey everyone. Jackknife, less risk and no responsibility. You don't have to worry about whether or not that guy can send money home to his family, or whether you got to pay for a huge repair you might have a return on. That's just it, right? So let's say this person falls on a hard time. I don't think I could be the guy, hey, I expect my truck payment. I don't care if your kid's in the hospital. I don't want to be that guy. It's why I became an owner operator, because the company I was working for became that guy. Right? And I don't want to deal with that. And so now with the trailer, it's a little bit different. The trailer payment's not unreasonable. So, it's and the way we're taking it out is affordable. But I watch people over and over try to lease out trucks, and it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. Because you don't have the backing. I don't have the backing that Schneider and Prime do. That's why they're able to do those things. That's why they can put any Joe Schmo in a truck without giving him a road test and put him in a truck. Now, I don't have that kind of backing and the risks. I mean, think about this. Let's say I lease someone out this truck and something fails on it that causes an accident. Guess who the lawyers are coming after? Me. Right? Schneider and Prime and all them have figured out how to get that out of their hands. They've got the lawyer, they've got the money, they've got the power. I don't have that. So why should I act like them? CDM for your truck, the extra revenue from a possible leave could all go to maintenance, not worth holding on to. I think you meant probably said lease. Right. That's kind of what I was thinking. The numbers on that would be the extra money I would see. I know what the yearly numbers are on this truck of what it costs to maintain and repair. And there's no profit margin if I do it that way. Wheelburner says managing and lowering all your fixed costs and getting a hard grasp on your variable costs is the first place to start in this market, but no one is doing that. Very few people are doing that, Wheelburner. I can't express enough how many people are not doing that. Living less on what you make and put money away from maintenance. I'm putting 30 cents a mile for maintenance, and I keep my fuel costs down. I don't run my tank all the way to empty. That costs more. That's good, Russell. That 30 cents a mile is about right, depending on how many miles you're running. But that 30 cents a mile, that seems high, but for some people, but for me, I think it's perfect. So that's so when we do the profit calculator on this 123 low board, we'll pick a load. Let's just do that real quick. So let's get this up here. All right, this is the hot market map. Let's switch this to van. Apply. Let's pick a load out of Missouri. I know Missouri, right? Here, let's pick this load from Sykeston to Mount Pleasant, Texas. Paying $1,100, $246 a mile. It's actually a good rate. All right, let's look at our profit calculator here. So this is set up at $4.10 a gallon, 6 miles per gallon. So the fuel cost estimated is $305 out of this $1,100. And then you have, there's no toll cost, but the 20% comes out to $220. So your total profit is $1.28 a mile. Now, out of that $1.28, now take out 30 cents. Now we're at 98 cents a mile. Right? Is that right? Out of that 98 cents a mile, you have to have insurance. You have to have your low boards. You have to have your taxes. If you don't have health insurance, you got to have that. Let's say fuel goes up to $5 a gallon, or you got a truck that gets 5 miles per gallon. That $1.28 disappears pretty quickly. So this load that started off at $246 a mile really isn't much, is it? And if people would just do that kind of math before they start, they may make different decisions. The filling half a tank, I'm thriving. Truck almost paid off. Good deal. 100% CDN, says Jackknife. Eating out of your truck with the fridge is cheaper than eating 3 meals a day out to eat. Yes. Even if you do $20 a day in meals times 30, that's a lot of money a month, right? I remember thanking God for credit cards when I had employees. I had 2 trucks go down, one after the other, so I had to pay to fix both trucks and make payroll for them. That was a rough month. Anxiety is the only guarantee if you jump into the owner operator game. Got my truck when diesel was $5.60 a gallon. There you go. You're triggering people. I am. Credit card has bailed me out many times. Paying them babies off again fast is the focus after a disaster period. Yes, and I've admittedly done that as well. It's funny, you think about back in the day, we used to be truck drivers. Now we're business owners first and truck drivers second. The school of life gives the test first and the lessons later. This is true. And it all comes back to this too. CB says you can survive owning a truck with budgeting, but you won't thrive until you master finance. Listen, absorb. Just Oaken says others have expertise. Learn from them. Shannon, good morning. With all the emojis, chilling at the house, truck in the shop for EPU repair. Yay! Hopefully, you'll get that fixed. Thematic Brit's got his eyes on me. Good morning, Brit. I also jumped my truck and fixed minor issues on my truck. Mine has been great for an entire year. Now it's starting to act up. I think it's a sensor. Talk about EPUs. Randy's in the house. Good morning. Heading home. Southern California offends me, and as well as it should. Sterling, good to see you. Well, something's not getting paid with that $1.28. 9 times out of 10, it's your profit margin, but you do lose more driving around without a load at all. Right. And there are people doing that. There are people sitting for 3 or 4 days waiting for a load that might pay profit $1.40 a mile. It all depends on where you're at and how long you think you might be waiting around. The wheels aren't turning, you're not earning. Helpful hint: marry a tax preparer accountant works for me. There you go. Yes, absolutely. But I know people that were accountants, they were CPAs that still didn't track their numbers, that still made bad decisions. Or they put themselves in a financial position that would have been difficult to come out of. I don't like Southern California either, bro. Always get burned when I go there. Yeah. All right, enough of the lecture. Lecturing's dumb. I hate it. It's a Debbie Downer. So let's whoops, wrong one. Let's go over some loads. See what's hopping on a Monday morning. All right, so this is a 123 low board 48065. If you're interested in my code, yes, I get a piece of that, but you know what? You get a discount. So, all right. So this is a van. This is outbound Missouri. So let's take a look at the hot market map for van. Arizona and California. Well, Arizona's lit up. There was a lot going. See, Texas is kind of weird. Let's take a look at Missouri. Let's see what's coming in and out of Missouri. Let's take a look at the inbound. See if all the Dollar Generals are St. Peter's, Lebanon, St. Peter's, Jamesport. I don't even know where that is. Warrenton, that's Dollar Tree. O'Fallon, that's St. Louis area. St. Joseph, Scott City, Columbia. Sullivan is Menards. Sykeston is, I believe there's a tool place down there. Belton, that's Kansas City. Vandalia, Missouri. I'm not sure where that's at. Kansas City. So, oh, someone did a gift membership. Let me take a look at that. Who did that? Because StreamYard doesn't show that. And I did not. I don't have the chat in front of me. Probably Sterling. Oh, Shannon did it. Thank you, Shannon. Thank you for the gift memberships. So, thank you. Thank you, Shannon. On the bigger and better things, Josh the Vegan. So my Turbo and Star went out on the same week. Someone thought my trailer airlines needed to be shorter. Now I'm waiting on new airlines. Wow, that's a tough gig. So Turbo was about what, $8,000, and the starter was about $2,000. Is that right? Trucking budgeting tip: don't cut your hair or waste money on razors. That's funny. Texas is weird because it's so dang big. It is. 53 van, Tracy, California, anywhere. All right, let's do that. So we click find loads. I had some alerts up, so ignore that. So Tracy, California. Tracy. Anywhere van. We'll do it for today and tomorrow. Apply. Search. A lot of stuff right out of Tracy. Look at that. Stockton. Ripon. Or Ripon, if you want to be lame. Stockton, Modesto. It's a good spot to be in. Let's take a look at the rates here. Let's see what the highest rate is. 56.50 to go all the way to Massachusetts. $1.60, $1.82 a mile. $1.45, $1.40. $2.49 to go to Denver. But you need a plated trailer. I think that's what that means. Yeah, that's probably cans. $2.15 to go to Aurora from Ripon. Am I saying that right, Ripon? I don't think it's pronounced Ripon. Is it pronounced Ripon? Am I dumb? Answer the questions. So if you do this by highest rate per mile, a lot of $400 and $500 loads here. There you go. Sacramento to Kent, Washington, $269 a mile, $2,000. Salt Lake, $252 a mile, $1,750. Denver load popped up. Nevada. Notice none of these are long haul at all. Well, it's Albuquerque, but good luck getting out of there. Albuquerque, you're more likely going to deadhead to El Paso. We all know what rates coming out of Texas are. So let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at good old New Mexico. Picks up today at 9:15 a.m., so it's got a couple hours before you get there. They're at 2,200, which is the exact rate as the rate check. Very interesting. Let's see. 0 loads. There's New Mexico to anywhere, 5 loads. But out of Albuquerque, there's nothing. 0. So there's your Tracy though. A lot of loads. Long haul stuff is blah, and the short haul stuff is blah as well. So what you're looking for is this mid range. And that's going to be Arizona, Oregon, Washington, and Colorado. That's where your best rates are going to be. So that's how you see that from like a bigger perspective. Terry, what's up? Oh, Shannon did 5, Sterling did 10. Okay, thank you. I'm going to have a lot of members pretty soon. Did the turbo and starter yourself, so saved a bunch. Excellent. Shoot, when I had my new authority safety audit, the officer had called ahead of time. He said he did that because his estimation 70% of carriers due for their audit were already out of business. Wow. And that's not somebody on YouTube. That's not OIDA. That's a guy that his sole job is to audit new authorities. Wow. Right there. So what are we all doing that's going to be better than that 70%? Lima, Ohio today, tomorrow, anywhere but Northeast. Well, let's take a look here. I'm assuming van. Ohio. Going anywhere for today, tomorrow. All right, search. A lot of loads. Now you can sort this by pickup location. There's probably a lot coming out of Lima. That's Procter and Gamble. Oh, I'm wrong. Oh wait, that's sort by deadhead. Deadhead miles. A lot of Limas. Oh, here's one going to Springfield, Missouri. You can come visit me. No rate posted. Runs about 1,300 on the average. A lot of loads coming out of the area. 140 some odd loads. I have some decent experience with Axle. Let's sort this by highest rate. Van Wert, Ohio to Doral, Florida. Let's see what's going on with this one. This is way above the average here. My guess is that it might have a multiple stop, but 323 a mile. Going pretty far south in Florida, so you're probably going to deadhead up or take a very cheap load coming up. But look at the profit margin on this. Let's take a look at that. If you're an 80% company and you're getting 6 miles per gallon, you're looking at profiting $1.84 a mile. So off of fuel and your percentage. That's how that works. Let's see. Let's do your highest rate per mile. That's going to be the short stuff. So there we go. Hanover, PA, which you don't want to go northeast. Roanoke, Texas, 334 a mile. See what's up with that one. Drop trailer, I bet. Yeah, that's way above the average. So there's something going on with this. Yeah, 2 extra stops right there. So it's got 3 stops. So depending on the time it takes to deliver that could be a good load. So your best paying stuff is going to so if you do the rate, overall rate, your best paying stuff is West Florida, Colorado, Maine, Northeast, Texas. Like nothing really hitting the Midwest. You know, I can sit here and tell you stay in the green states, but it's kind of hard. This Hattiesburg might be a situation though. That might be a good one. Bit of a deadhead on it, 131 miles. Picks up today at 4:30. So a lot of these brokers are waiting the last minute to book these. That I'm seeing. I could be wrong. CDN could correct me if I'm wrong. So there you go. It always amazes me when I see truckers bitch about rates, but plop down $10 for a pack of cigs and $5 for an energy drink. Yes. Man, under $2 a mile to go to Massachusetts? I don't think so. Ripon? Okay, I'm saying it right then. Cool. California is always the future. Get used to those rates all over the USA. if California's future, Florida is its postmodern reflection. It's a good save. All right, so let's look at load availability again. Let's take a look at flatbed. Been seeing a lot of posts of things sliding into the cab because they're not secured properly on the flatbed pages on Facebook there. Oregon is lit at green. For a minute, it was yellow. Washington has turned yellow. Missouri's turned yellow. Ohio is still green. Michigan's still green. Let's take a look at Minnesota here. See what's coming out of Minnesota. Let's sort this by the highest rate. Highest paying thing is $3,500, $1.82 to go from Minnesota to Chino, California. $1.61, $1.59, dollar. I'm sorry. $1.59 to go to Florida on a flatbed with 48,000 pounds. And looking at this, it's been that way for a while. I don't know what to say. Let's take a look at, let's see what the rates coming out of Florida are. Oh, well, that explains some of it. Sorry, that just kind of blew me away for a second. Where is it? Okay, so out of Minnesota. So we're looking at now your highest rate per mile. That's where your money is. But still, you're looking at $500 for the day. Let you go into North Dakota, which is tough to get out of there. Now, if we do this for van, and then click on Minnesota turns yellow, let's see what rates are looking like overall. Let's see if something's going to Florida here. See how it compares. Well, there isn't anything going to Florida. That's hard to believe. Anyways, very interesting. Let's look at reefer. Reefer should be hot and heavy right now. It kind of is in some areas. Let's take a look at Minnesota. There you go. St. Cloud to Arcadia, Florida, $2.75 a mile, 47.87. $2.92 a mile to go to North Carolina from Park Rapids, Minnesota. Look at that, $2.92 a mile. Let's see what this is. They're way above the average. It's frozen. Nothing about extra stops. So let's take a look at that broker. They got good credit. They are pre-approved by Thunder. I've never heard of True Blue Supply Chain Management Company. 204 to go out to California. $32 degrees. That's not too bad on the reefer. So $261 a mile to go to Scranton, PA. This one's only offering $1.82 to go out to California. So highest revenue run nationwide. I don't know how to do that. If you know how to do that, let me know. Does that Florida flatbed load include free tickets to Disney World? If you're out here needing to cut back on cigarettes and energy drinks to save money, you're doing something way wrong. There's a lot of that. DIY says hi. So, anyways, guys, I'm going to keep it to an hour here. I'm done talking. If you want to try out the low board, it's 48065-123lowboard.com. If you want to check it out, don't take my word for it. Check it out for yourself. If you like it, cool. If not, then at least you tried, right? Have a plan in place. Execute that plan. Insanity is defined by doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. So what are you doing to get different results than everybody else? So with that being said, thanks for watching. And strength for today, hope for tomorrow, and we will hopefully see you on Wednesday. So, and subscribe to my other channel. I might put up something there. Peace.